Say, I have a cat, and my cat's a musty wee bastard.
Yeah.
And I see an ad from you, and it says, "Are you sick of smelling your pets in your home? It must absolutely scunder you when you have guests around."
So sometimes you gotta just go for it. So I said, look, you sit in the kitchen and social distance, and I'll clean your sofa.
It's essentially the wheels fell off.
Yep, the wheel fell off, buddy.
The new business kind of spawned, and that entrepreneurial mindset was like, right, what's my new angle? This obviously didn't work now because of conditions, and that's just life. I mean, the people who used to sell slaves to farms to rape them or whatever. They went out of business overnight since the tractor started. You know. Today we're sitting down with Gareth Bishop, also has his own podcast, and is a bit of a self-made entrepreneur or a soulpreneur or whatever way you want to put it. Gareth, tell the people what you do and how you got started.
Okay, so thanks for having me.
No problem.
First off, but yeah, I clean carpet and upholstery, and I got into it basically. I like the phoenix that rose from the flames, because COVID, my vending machine franchise was falling apart. But it was more a case of I stumbled into it. There was nothing pretty about it. There was absolutely nothing pretty or glorious about it. It was sink or swim. But on reflection, I have romantic kind of ideas, but no, it was it was dire.
Was this? So we're talking about your current business. Was this literally in the pinnacle of 2020 where you couldn't do anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, COVID was announced, and everybody was loving life. It was barbecues, and for some strange reason, the sun was splitting the trees.
No, it was the best weather we had in years.
And we've never matched it since.
No, you're right.
So I was like everybody else. It was barbecues and jacuzzis, and it was good. And then the vibe of the news kind of changed a wee bit. It was like, okay, it was 3 weeks, 2 months. And that was like things that, the mood was changing. And then after that, it was like a wee vending machine started coming back, and that was all right, and it happens. And then it started coming back in 2s and 3s. And then it was like lockdown, and then it was like businesses were closing, and like care homes, for example. It was like, all my stock's going to go out of date. Like I need in, you ain't getting in. And then it started to get a little hairy because they started to come back in 10s and 20s in, and it was like, I was just counting it, that
the business is closing.
Well, I was counting like how much it would cost me to pay a call centre.
Oh.
To get them resited.
Oh, okay.
All the stock's out of date, so I'm sitting calculating, well, where's the money coming from to replenish all the stock, because it hasn't sold, it's just went out of date. And then they're coming back, and they're coming back, and they're coming back, and they're in friends and family sheds, they're in friends' garages. It's just like game over, over.
So this was I don't think you mentioned there. So you had a vending machine business at the start of COVID, and then because it's essentially the wheels fell off.
Yep, the wheel fell off, buddy.
The new business kind of spawned, and that entrepreneurial mindset was like, right, what's my new angle? This obviously didn't work now because of conditions, and that's just life. I mean, the people who used to sell slaves to farms to rape them or whatever. They went out of business overnight since the tractor started. You know,
the market decides.
The market decides. Exactly.
And I invested my 30s, and don't get me wrong, I had a good run, but I believed that the sacrifice was gonna send me through my 40s and 50s, etc. But that wasn't to be. So I had to think, right, well, what am I going to do? So I was actually on the phone with a friend. I was like, the vending machines are coming back. They're not coming back out again. I'll sell them on eBay. I'll get a few quid back. But like, what am I going to do? And he said mattresses. And I was like, what do you mean mattresses? He said, we can import mattresses, and we'll sell mattresses. That kind of thing. And I was like, no, fuck that there, how are we gonna import mattresses, like? But in that moment, I thought he said, we can clean mattresses, right? And he says, no, we'll import mattresses. But in that moment, I was like, well, I wouldn't mind cleaning carpet and upholstery. Do you know what I mean? So in that moment, it was like, right. And then I got on to YouTube and I started following this guy, learning how to clean carpet and upholstery.
Love this.
And he was fucking brilliant. I thought he was photoshopping this stuff. I was like, geez, there's no way he's that good, like. And I subscribed to him, and obviously the algorithms, I was getting his videos every day. And I said, fuck this here, like, he's the real deal, like, he's fucking brilliant at this. So I screenshotted it, and I zoomed in, and I seen what machine he had. And I said, I'm fucking selling these vending machines. We'll get a few quid up, and I'm buying that machine. And I did. I researched the company who made the machine, got friendly with them, and I just said one day, and this is middle of COVID.
Still 2020 or 21?
No, bang on. So COVID was March 2020. I'm talking, this was just shy of summer. Like, this was knee deep.
Oh,
like,
right.
You
so
know,
that's how bad things got.
Well, there's the cash flow, it stopped. I was going out and maybe getting bits and bobs, but it was game over. I knew in my head it was over. So I researched the machine, the company, and I just got it sent over. But then it was like the government was like social distancing and all this shit, and it was kind of frowned upon to be working at that stage.
Yeah.
And I was yeah, you come home and tell my fucking kids that they're not eating and the house is going to be cold.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? So sometimes you gotta just go for it. So I said, look, you sit in the kitchen and social distance, and I'll clean your sofa in the living room, and you can PayPal me. Everybody's happy, and that was, the curve. That was me back in the game, man.
Back in the game.
Back in the game, buddy. But I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Like.
There's nothing like the stress of thinking, holy fuck, there's money running out of my pockets here, and nothing's replacing it.
Nothing's replacing it, and unfortunately, I had the added stress of my dad had cancer, mum had cancer.
During this time?
And then we lost mum and dad at the same time. And then plus obviously I'm not bringing any money into the house, and my missus is a barber, so she's fucking certainly not bringing any money into the house at COVID, and you're meant to just sit there and die, like.
The government are, for small business owners, now they did come out after I think it was 3 months or something. Remember they came out for that, we'll match you for what employees are getting. Yeah. And then you had to sign up for that thing, but that wasn't for a good while. We were the last to get fed. And I remember myself. I had business insurance at the time, and I can't remember what the insurance was, but essentially it covered me if there was anything that stopped me from working.
Yes.
I can't remember the exact name of that policy, but like there was a section that was like, if you have to stop working because of any reason, like a national emergency, whatever, we'll cover the cost of your 70% of your daily earnings or whatever up to however long. And they ended up not paying out.
I know.
They ended up just turning around going, no. And I was sitting there like looking at the policy documents going, this is exactly what it covers. And they were like, no. And then they ended up being taken to court with the British government, and then they turned it around, and then they started paying people out. That wasn't a year later.
I know.
So by the time when I needed the money from the insurance company, they told me to fuck off.
Yep.
Which I thought was ridiculous. But it was basically get like the mob, like, nah, we're not paying you, sorry. I was like, what?
And you have enough on your plate.
It was horrible.
You have enough on your plate, and you're then going to have to pick another fight with the insurance company. It's shocking times, like.
Well, tell you what, when finally the British government took them to court and turned around and had to pay all the small business owners out, they made the form that complicated that you wouldn't need an accountant to do it. And probably a solicitor. And I was just sitting there like going, I don't even know what my numbers were for this time, this range, and for what things, and what was deductible. And I was sitting there, at the end, I just went, fuck it.
I know.
Which is what they wanted.
Absolutely.
They made it so complicated that you couldn't actually get the money off them.
Well, it's kind of the opposite as to why Amazon has the buy now button, because he wants you to buy things easily. So he only puts one step in play.
Yes.
Buy now, one step.
Yep.
Bingo. So it's the opposite. They don't want to pay out.
Yeah.
So they put 1,000 steps in place.
100%.
And how much money are they saving every step of the way? Tom, he's happy enough to take 10 steps to try and get his insurance to pay out, whereas Marty's fucking 2 steps, and there's very few are going to fucking ride it to the death.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
And they know that, and that's why they put all the obstacles in the way. I've no doubt. Like,
it's funny what you said there about the buy now button. So I'm reading the book at the minute, and it talks all. Basically, it's a copywriting book for direct marketers. Direct marketers are the people who used to sell in like magazines, and you could ring them up, or you could send them their letter back if it was junk mail or whatever, and you can get more information and have a trial period on this product or whatever. And these people were very, very good, because everyone would kind of go, who would buy that? People bought it because they were making millions. And like QVC, do you remember QVC?
Shopping channel?
Yeah, shopping channels for QVC. They would have done a lot of the scripts for QVC for selling their products. And listening to what they are saying about kind of how people buy. So a lot of people buy on emotion. Anything you buy, most of the time, unless it's the basic needs such as food or shelter.
Yes.
Anything you buy is usually an emotional buy. For example, if I bought a new car, I might at the time think, okay, I'm being logical and this is economical and all the rest of it, but in reality it's probably driven by emotion. I want to either feel status from being, let's say, a Mercedes driver or an Audi driver, or me now in the Tesla group or whatever. There is a bit of status there,
absolutely,
how people perceive you and all that other stuff.
Of course.
But once you buy it, so once I hit click, I buy it, you then justify the purchase with logic. So everyone buys with emotion and then justifies with logic.
Yes.
So between that period of emotional buy to logic, is people going to believe that your actual product or service is logically going to fix their problem, that they emotionally went, I want that sorted.
Yeah.
You get me?
Oh, aye.
So in any kind of copy that you write for your business, or any time you want to sell what you're doing, always think, how can I get an emotional response off someone? So let's talk about your business. Let's say I have a cat, and my cat's a musty wee bastard.
Yeah.
And I see an ad from you, and it says, "Are you sick of smelling your pets in your home? It must absolutely scunder you when you have guests around."
So it doesn't matter if you're selling, marketing service to a business, or whether you're selling carpet and upholstery cleaning, to an individual. All businesses are there to solve a problem.
Yep.
So the framework that I use is the pastor framework. So it's problem, amplify the problem, share a story about the problem, and then put an offer, and then call to action.
You what was the book, or the CDs, or the books? Was it books or CDs?
Yes, they got me inspired. Jim Rohn.
I love Jim Rohn stuff.
So once upon a time, I used to clean cars.
Here, bring the weed. Just make sure the weed mic's at your face. Just grab it.
Yep. Good. And I was cleaning the car, and in the back seat was these decks, the tape decks. That's how old I am.
Oh, right, okay.
And it wasn't CDs, it wasn't, it was tape decks. And it was on the front of it, it said something like, be your best, or unleash the power within, or something like that anyway. Now, I was only about 20 at the time. Rough and ready, straight out of the back streets of Antrim. And all this was all kind of voodoo, airy fairy stuff. Like, if you had shared it with your mates, you'd have got fucking laughed at, that kind of thing. But
because the internet wasn't around then.
No internet. No. It's like everybody nowadays is quoting fucking Robert Greene, 48 Laws of Power and all this here.
That one's a bit fucked up, to be honest.
Yeah. But years ago, those types of books were only in certain circles. Like, you've got all this information at your hand now.
Yeah.
Whereas, back in the day when I started getting into the entrepreneurial space, there was nothing but just a wee intuition that I wanted to do. I couldn't work for anybody. Like, if I didn't want to go to work on Monday morning, I didn't go.
Yeah.
It was as simple as that, and you can't sustain a life with that attitude. Like, but I'll because I'm going to work for myself, I'll be there Monday morning, 9 o'clock, if you've booked me in. Like, so I knew that was my space. I never liked answering to anybody. And if I want to go to the pub, I'll go to the fucking pub. Like,
see, I think a lot of people like to say when they're entrepreneurs, the entrepreneurs are C students. We're the people who don't mind taking risk. We're not so intelligent that we're risk adverse, and we're like, oh, I'll go get a good paying job and get a nice house. And we're the people that go, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah. Touching on that, I'm not adverse to risk. I don't know if that's due to stupidity or I don't know, that's just part of my makeup. Whereas I know, like my parents, for example, and other friends, they're so adverse to risk that the comfort zone of a job is too attractive. whereas it's not attractive to me at all. So I know that I just have to keep falling 7 times and getting up 8, because I learned something in those little moments that no one else sees or knows. To the outsiders, I may look like a fucking, idiot, because I keep failing and fall. I call it failing forward. I don't call it failing, like, because I've learned something in 100%. That wee exercise. But I think other people like the haters. Those terms weren't around 20 years ago. But I think the haters like to just sit and mock you, but they don't realise that in a year's time, all the lessons I've learned. I'll they'll be laughing on their own, like, because I'll be miles away from them, like.
I love this. I love it. When did I start my first business? I was 21, so I'm 29 now, so 8 years ago. I had a friend, he's still my friend, his name's Harry, and he was a barber. And I was doing YouTube videos. I had, every teenager's dream is to be a YouTuber, no doubt about it. It's like, wow, their life, they're traveling the world, they've all this money, cars, whatever.
Yep.
So I had this grandiose idea I was going to be a YouTuber. I actually had a job when I was 18 to 20 in a factory, and the factory closed. So I thought, you know what? I have no bills, I have no nothing. I sold a car, and I was like, I'm going to be a YouTuber. So this is what I thought.
Brilliant.
And my friend, who was a barber, says, will you come up and do a vlog in my barber shop? And I thought, aye. And he's like, I'll give you a free haircut. I thought, fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
So I came up, right, everyone get up to Harry's and Green Island and all this sort of shit. And then I done a bit of a promo video on my phone for him. Like, didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was fucking side to side, put it all together in the editing suite. And then sent him it, and he goes, mate, amazing. And then he put it out that night, and when he put it out that night, he told me he got a shitload more customers, and I thought,
I love it.
So then I'm sitting there at 21 going, what do you mean? And he's like, I got a shitload more customers. And then he came round to my house with a book, and the book was Think and Grow Rich
by Napoleon Hill. Yeah.
So when I read that book, when I say there was a fire lit in my arse, I thought the world had just turned in the full colour for me. I went, what?
We'll see on that tape deck that I was listening to, Jim Rohn. Well, he recommended that book, and The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. Yeah, well, that's a classic. You'll read that in your lunch break. I think you can actually download it now on Audible.
Can you?
But those 2 books were recommended on that tape deck, and back then I had to drive around maybe 3 or 4 libraries to try and get it.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
You have read it, Think and Grow Rich?
And I've got the Audible now as an adult, but back then you had to drive around fucking Northern Ireland, and they were like, I think Donegal has one. No, it's lent out now. I think Malile has that, or no, something East Belfast.
That's a nightmare. It's very easy for people nowadays, like you said, to get information. Information was on lock back then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or you had to pay for like a big course or a big seminar or something.
No, it's that's why I remember running around delivering leaflets. Mm-hmm. Tortured my mum for 40 quid, went and got 1,000 leaflets, knocked them all out, come home, sat and waited on my Nokia 3210 ringing. Didn't ring. So I need to torture my ma again for more money. I'm going to put an ad in the paper. Put an ad in the paper. Well, you have to wait the next Thursday for the paper to come out. Do you know what I mean? So that's why now people always say to my partner Tommy, "Fuck, Gareth posts a bit much on that on social media, doesn't he?" And it's because I remember walking about in the fucking rain, delivering leaflets, and getting fuck all. And then so see now, whereas I can do a post to a couple of thousand people, and I get that instant kind of feedback where I don't have to run around in the rain or the snow. I used to go out in the snow and all, mate. It's like if you're not marketing, your business is down or you're going backwards.
Well, that's the first step in any business.
And it's an ongoing process.
I'm going to give anybody in the world who wants to start a business with no money in their bank, right? Because I've done this exact thing.
Yeah.
So I had COVID, same as you. So COVID hit, I had no money. Nothing coming in. There was no weddings, there was no videos, there was no businesses. So I went, the fuck am I going to do here? I thought, you know what? I'm going to open up a Mexican.
Yes.
And like my mum was looking at me. I was telling her.
That's when you first come on my radar.
Was it with the
Mexican? Yeah. I think it was the second shop. I was like, who is this wee bastard?
So I was living in my mum's box bedroom, and I had this crazy idea. I was going to start a Mexican. Fuck all money in the bank. Every bit of money I had with my mum for keep at that time. And she gave me food and fucking paid for everything, which is mad because I was 20 fucking whatever age it was, 24, 25. But it was just it was a couple of steps back. But anyway,
Yes.
I went, you know what, I'm going to start a Mexican. Mum
Yep.
fucking pissed herself at me.
I know.
Pissed herself at me.
But it made perfect sense in your head.
In my head.
Yep.
And then my dad as well pissed himself at me. My granny pissed herself at me. Uncle, alright, you starting a Mexican kid? Yeah, no problem. And I went, right, okay, fuck yous.
Yep.
I love yous, but fuck yous. And I went on. Now, anybody can start a business this way. Anyone. You got a fucking business idea, here's what you want to do. I went on, opened Photoshop, developed a logo, called it Logos, made a little Mexican man that I got off Google. Went on, started a page, didn't tell a fucker it was me because I wanted to test the idea. And some people have preconceived notions
of course.
on me because it's my
Absolutely.
local area. And I thought, I'm going to put this out to the world. So I put it out, I said, new Mexican coming to Carrickfergus. And it fucking went massive.
No way.
Massive. The whole fucking town was talking about it, and I didn't have anything set up. But I had one thing, proof of fucking concept.
Yep.
So
Yep.
£0 spent, 2 hours in Photoshop, there's a fucking business. Then, once that was done, I started teasing after that. It's coming here, it's coming there. Then I went and signed the lease, still had fuck all money. I thought, right, what can I do here? Applied for 6 different credit cards.
Brilliant.
Boom, all accepted me. £1,000, £1,000, £2,000. So I got about 9 grand. I go, fucking right, 9 grand. Couldn't get another startup loan, already had one before. So now I've got 9 grand negative. Paid 9 grand and all the equipment, my first food load, and convinced my friend who was a chef to come on and help me with all the chefing.
Builder.
Opened it, queue out the fucking door.
No way.
Paid 5 grand in the first night. Turned around to my dad and said, I fucking told you so.
Hoorah!
Anybody can start a business. You need to. Here's the thing: your business idea might be shite, so go and test it. Put it out to the world.
Yep,
Share
yep.
it in the NI business or wherever the hell you live. Share it in a local group and see what people say.
That's
if it's
it.
crickets, guess what? Too many people doing
Yep.
it.
Move on.
Move on. Do the next thing.
Get the next thing.
Get the next thing.
But that's the beauty of social media now. You know,
Yeah.
our generation now. Well, it's a blessing or a curse. We've got social media, and it's a great way to test a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, like my kind of people don't realize. You know, I may have, you know, listened to like over 100 books on marketing, but I know that if I was to pitch myself on social media every day, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, it turns people off.
Think so?
I think so. There's certain areas where you know you have to be the authority or whatever on the matter.
Yeah.
But I clean carpet.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Or you go into Google. There's 40 of us within fucking 5 miles.
Yeah.
So I prefer to go on and, to my best ability, try and be entertaining. They know I clean carpet. I don't need to fucking tell them every day.
Yeah.
But I stick in their head when they're out cutting hair or something. I'd have done something funny that morning, or I'd have been self-deprecating. Do you know, I find people. I take the opposite approach. Instead of going, I'm the best. I prefer to be self-deprecating. It's like, you know, what was the last one? Where I always say, fuck my life. You know what I mean? I'll be self-deprecating because I know it's funny.
Yeah.
And when I'm making people laugh,
Yeah.
I'm sticking in their head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People will forget what you say, but they'll not forget how you made them feel.
100%, especially at the end of a conversation.
Yes. So if I make someone laugh every day, I know that it's coming back in work one way or another.
It's funny you said this. There's a guy. You ever read any of David Ogilvy's stuff?
No.
So David Ogilvy started an agency called Ogilvy and Mather, which is now Ogilvy, and they started, I think, in the 80s. And it grew to basically be one of the biggest agencies on planet Earth, billions and billions and billions of dollars in revenue. And what David Ogilvy says is, nobody's seen your ad until they've seen it 7 times. And I recently read last night from a guy called Joseph Sugarman, who's a direct marketer. He says that with familiarity, people will start to know you, and they'll almost see when they see your stuff, like, there's Gareth again. You're familiar to them, and then whenever the problem arises that you're fix,
already there.
You're the guy.
I know.
You're in my brain as the guy.
That makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas, you know, I could never be a joiner. I just don't get the tools. I don't get the woodwork. I don't get it. But see, when it comes to marketing, you know, I just get it. Do you know what I mean? And I, you know, luckily enough, I love it too. You know, yeah, clean carpet, but a lot of my reward in my wee, business comes from the marketing sides. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? I love how it works. The correlations. It's like, if you go into my social media, I'll be fucking about, but I'll make sure you see the sofa in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll go in and there'll be like a low hanging lamp. And I'll be standing there with my power tools and my horsehair brush and some carpet cleaner.
Uh-huh.
And I'll be going, how many fucking times am I going to hit that today? But I don't need to stand there and go, I'm cleaning the sofa today and I'm the best at this.
But that's what everyone kind of does.
Yeah, that's day one stuff.
Yeah, it's day one stuff. Absolutely day one stuff.
Whereas I go down the educational and entertaining route.
Yeah, that's your brand. That's the brand.
That's my building blocks of my service. But I'll get that across to you in a funny way.
Yeah.
I do have the best equipment. I do use the best chemicals. I have the best methods. The best possible result will be delivered. But I say that here, there, and everywhere. I don't just do one tutorial, right? I'm using these products today, and they're the best because people switch off.
Well, people don't like to be sold to.
And that again.
You know yourself, if someone rings you going, Gareth, you interested? Fuck off, man.
I know.
What I mean? Like,
because once upon a time, I was like, I'm the best at this. I know I am. And then I fucking social anxieties. I had people issues, so I couldn't sell. So then I had to go away and start reading books on, what's this that I'm feeling, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I need to clear that shit up so I'm comfortable speaking to people. So then that's a whole new world.
In my industry, I feel like people always say the same shit over and over again. Like, we can help grow your business. We can help you grow again. Like anything. See, if I hear the word grow, I'm like, fuck off. It's the same shit. And there's that many different agencies out there that actually have never read a book. They've watched a course or they've seen someone on YouTube. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But if you're going to go watch someone on YouTube, go and read 10 books after. The books are where that's where your meat and potatoes is in the books.
Absolutely.
And it's something that I've learned over time is I used to think I can watch everything on YouTube. And you can to an extent. But books is where you're really going to fucking excel.
Well, it's a superpower.
100%.
There's been, who was it that was asked? Was it Steve Jobs or something? But he was basically, he basically said reading. It's a superpower.
100%.
Because
you're getting all the knowledge.
You're getting all the knowledge. And what I found was, say, I do Audible now. So I'll maybe have 10 of my favourite books, and then it'll be 5 of my favourite authors now. They're all talking about the same principle. Well, there's something in that then, isn't there?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of shit out there. It might sound good, and then you try it, and it doesn't fucking work. But when your top 3 favourite authors in, say, the marketing space are all talking about this same principle, they might word it different, dress it up different, but I try and simmer everything down to principles.
Yeah. You know what's funny? How you are perceived can totally U-turn your entire business, right?
Oh, yeah.
So say if somebody perceives you as cheap, you can never charge an expensive price. I am sorry, people will look at you and go, no.
Yeah.
So if you have something that is expensive, you need to look fucking expensive. You do. Simple as that. If I sat down with someone and I said, all right, Gareth, to fix this problem for you, it's going to be 10 grand. And we were sitting in a local coffee shop and I was wearing a pair of jeans and I'm a young man and that maybe I'm still living with my mum, you go, fuck off, Josh, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Whereas you turn in there an office, which is obviously a multi-million-pound fucking operation in here, and wearing a suit, and fucking a nice car, you've seen the car, you might go, you know what, this person might know what he's talking about. You obviously go do your due diligence, but now you're taking me a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
So how people present themselves can totally U-turn their business. So if you come on and you have this is not an attack at anyone, but say, for example, you're in a very serious industry.
Yes.
I think my industry is quite serious because you're dealing with a lot of money and a lot of false promises are always fucking made to people. But let's say I put up a status and my spelling is horrible.
Game over.
It
doesn't matter. There's no coming back from that.
People still do it.
Yeah.
And then here's another one, and this is not targeted at anyone, but a girl, I don't know who it was, but I saw her on some Facebook page, and I just thought to myself, my goodness. Someone asked for some marketing help, and she says, I have a marketing agency and I'm a VA, And see, when I saw that BA, I thought of the Philippines and $5 an hour. I go, you are never, ever going to scale your business in a million years unless you have a total U-turn on who you are.
Yeah.
Are you an expert? Yes, I'm an expert. Okay, come across as an expert, not a fucking BA.
Another good one is all these online marketing agencies have 4 likes.
No. It depends. Let's say you're B2B.
Yeah.
If you're in B2B, you could be making fucking millions in the background and only get 4 likes on Facebook because Facebook's not a B2B
platform.
area.
But it's the perception. It's like, well, how are you going to scale my business? How are you going to scale my numbers? And you've got 4 likes. It's the perception. You know, obviously behind the curtain.
Well, but now you have to prove it.
The numbers are maybe different, but if someone has maybe 3 or 4 different agencies, you know, having their ducks in a row, that they might, and it's like, well, you know, that doesn't look good. Like,
I'd say I know where you're coming from, but so obviously I'm in this industry, and what I can say is, Facebook, Instagram especially, and TikTok to an extent, but Facebook and Instagram especially are B2C areas, and people are on there not to see me selling shit. They're on there to see their family, funny videos, food, taekwondo, piano, whatever the fuck your poison. So whenever they see some marketing tip, they're like, I don't give a fuck about that, right?
Yeah.
But if you're on LinkedIn, guess what? It's going to be 10x the engagement, 10x, at least 10x, because everyone on LinkedIn is interested in that.
Yes.
So I would take what you're saying with a pinch of salt, because it might not matter on Facebook, but if they can prove they can do that thing for your business, which is directed to B2C, okay, you deal with the public, if they can prove if they were coming across as you, they can get the hundreds of likes, the hundreds of thousands of engagement.
But are they ever going to get the opportunity to prove it? If the front of house isn't
offers,
you know what I mean?
So build authority, make a really good offer, back it up with logic, have an amazing landing page, and fucking run ads. See if you're an agency. I tell you what, see if you're my competitor, run some fucking ads. Run ads. You can't tell me that you're an ads agency and you don't run no fucking ads on your own business. It doesn't make no sense, does it?
Yeah. How can you measure anything?
It's the same principle in what you're saying there. Like, he's only got a few likes. But for example, we work with a client called Top Gear Motors, and Top Gear Motors, we got them, I want to say, 5 million views on TikTok, right? But if I put a post out, it would have got 2. Because it's what we were doing for them was kind of like the funny kind of videos and skits and different things, and then showing the cars in the background, and you pick up the cars in the background. You're kind of interested
nice and
in
sexy.
that car. Yeah, but you would have looked at, like, from your perception, we're going, well, they're not getting no fucking likes, but if I get you in one of my ads, and
and there's different budgets involved there as well. I would imagine, like, no one's pumping fucking $5,000 a month into their Facebook page.
Fucking there is.
Just your standard personal Facebook page, not Facebook ads.
Oh.
Just your standard
it depends
profile.
On your service. It depends on your service. Like,
no, not even your service. I mean, just Gareth Bishop. You know, not Bishop's Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning Services. Just your normal everyday profile Facebook. You know, no one's banging out a big budget to raise the profile of their own wee Facebook page that they started up in fucking 29.
Well, it depends on their end goal. You obviously, your business is your baby, but let's say I was a high ticket coach who's paid, you had to pay 10 grand to come see. I would be making all the content and pumping all the look organic. So then, now let's be honest, everyone wants to be successful, and they'll all try something. So imagine there's 8 billion people on Earth, and they all don't want to spend money, right? So no one wants to spend any money. 8 billion, I'm going to make all these videos on social, and I'm going to go fucking viral, and I'm going to change my life, right? But if you go, okay, well, I'm going to go and invest 2 grand in to get my name out there and build a bit of a base first so people's interested in my fucking topic, you're at such a competitive advantage over everyone else over here who isn't ever willing to take that leap.
Some people aren't willing to swing once.
Yeah.
But there's people out there who'll fucking swing all day.
And I love them people.
Yeah,
and
you only have to hit the fucking ball out of the park once, like.
So to say.
But people are so adverse to swinging, they won't even swing once. And there's people out there with fucking bats swinging like fucking mad bastards.
Right, Gareth, last question, because obviously we're on a bit of a time crunch. What would your advice be to anyone who is interested in starting their business or going for it themselves?
Yeah, so advice. Oh, there's so much. There's no one answer to this game, like. But I just truly believe that the world rewards action.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta do it. And you're gonna have to get up the next day and do it again and the next day, and but I know that if you sit around procrastinating, nothing's gonna happen. So the world rewards action. So you gotta get up and get going, like.
100%. Everyone listening out there, go commit some action. Go do something.
Yeah. Just Nike says it best. Just do it.
Just do it. Feel forward.
Feel forward, buddy.
Thank you, Gareth.